Coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is the Blue Heaven Podcast. What is going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is those signs and sounds. My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram.
Your name is Cash Register Bell?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'm real proud of you
and
for that
my
one.
maiden name is...
Yeah. Really familiar with that. What's going on? It really threw me off with that one. Guys, my name is Brooke. You can find me at BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. We also have over in the corner on Gary Cam, Mr. Gary Lee himself.
A.K.A. Doug.
When we have other people on the show, are they also going to be on Gary Cam?
I'll change the name.
Okay, that's good.
Wait, I'm going to share this with someone?
No.
At some point in time.
Maybe. When
it's not you and there's other people in that seat. All right. As opposed to wasting a bunch of time talking about things and interacting with each other, let's interact with you guys. First, we got to talk about what's going on the show today. Kenley Fornia is burning. We're going to wait. We're going to get into that first, but more. We got to dive into Doc's mind because there's something going on there with that Kenley relationship. There's going to be a lot of Kenley today, a lot of bullpen, as one would imagine. On the positive side of things, it is ring season tomorrow. It's ring day tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, so that's cool. That's fun. I mean, we don't get a ring, but I guess they don't like it. If they liked us, they would have put a ring on it.
I was told that we were a part of the organization.
And there's an all-new Dodger Stadium in 2021. So we're going to kind of talk through a little bit of it, some of the things we like, anything you guys have seen. Jam-packed show. Luckily, we're doing two a day, whatever. Doing it twice a week, but... yeah, let's dive into the comments. Let us know where you guys are repping from and the scale of how angry you are to see Kenley Jansen in their back-to-back days.
So far, so good. There's a lot of anger. Just straight from the top. North Dallas 40 over on YouTube says, trade Kenley to the Angels. All right. You know what? That would be a real improvement on the Angels bullpen. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they have that kind of relief money.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Ruben says, why are we still talking Jansen? Because we weren't on live yesterday, and this is there's a lot to unpack from it.
Ruben, why aren't you talking Jansen?
This is a
That's
good call.
The question.
What else is there to talk about right now? Yeah.
Ray Station 5 says, my favorite podcasters from some Dodger blog. Thank you, Ray Station. We appreciate it.
It's me. I'm some Dodger blogger.
Yep. You are the big guys.
Cisneros acknowledged me, so I'm acknowledging him.
I guess I could throw you on the screen. Leslie Taylor says, Kenley makes me want to scream. I do not blame you, Leslie. Anthony Keene saying, is it really Kenley or is it Dave Roberts? No one in the room would think to use Kenley after a 4-out save. What was a 5-out save in Colorado? And then going back-to-back in Oakland. A little weird. There's a good amount of head scratching with all of that. But do we just dive into it?
I mean, I guess. I don't know what else there's to talk about at this point.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me for 4 years, WTF. That was my my way of putting this.
Mm-hmm. That's a good lead-in. Yeah,
this section together because this is not an isolated incident. This isn't us choosing to pick on Kenley. Mm-hmm. We went into this season. What was it? Every writer out there, they said the biggest question mark, Kenley Jansen and the bullpen. We went into this saying that this team would be at its best if Kenley Jansen is good and at his best or something close to it. He's been in 3 games, has 1 save. He's blown a save, so he's trending well. Dave Roberts after the game called the outing and the lack of command uncharacteristic quote of Kenley Jansen.
Yeah.
To which I retort, if it were uncharacteristic, why are so many people up in arms about it?
Listen, I mean, there's this odd thing that happens with... No, it's not odd. I understand it to an extent. You can write a script for Dave Roberts' postgame before it happens. Just based off the situation, based off of every move that he makes in any given game, you can say exactly what he's going to say. We knew when they put Matt Beatty in the game against the Rockies when they lost, when he struck out looking on 3 straight pitches, we knew exactly what he was going to say. I like that matchup there. I like Matt against the velocity. And he came in and said, well, I like that matchup there. I like Matt against velocity. And it's like, well, there you go. Chalk it up. Wrote the headline before he even said it. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna do the managerial thing, which is to defend your guys. He's never gonna come out there and railroad somebody. He's never gonna come out there and throw Kenley under the bus and then back it up over him again. But at some point, you just got to look at it and be like, look, Dave. I mean, can you at least just be honest with yourself? Maybe you're not going to be honest with us, but you're going to be honest with yourself at some point, because you have to know by now. My little niece, my little tiny niece, the youngest niece that I have, she's like 1.5 foot tall or whatever she is.
Mm-hmm.
I think she could at this point recognize that you don't pitch Kenley Jansen on back-to-back games, especially when it's a night day and then a day game. I mean, it's all, hours and differences, but still, come on.
The excuses came out pretty quick. I know, Gary, you saw it on the tweeter because you were around on the tweeter. The excuses. I'll throw to Katie here, who says, I'm ready to square up with Vassay, because Vassay was pointing to, and a number of people pointed to, the Dodgers didn't get it done on offense. They went 2 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Look at the positive side of that. That afforded the Dodgers that opportunity to get Kenley in a game in a high leverage situation, going back to back, all this stuff, all the things that are important that you want to get out of the way now. You want to learn about Kenley now, not in October. We've learned about Kenley in October for years.
Yeah, it's been years. Every time, you know what it is? Every time I see Kenley, crap the bed, I think of the 2018 spring training, the first time we got to meet up with him in the bullpen at Dodger Stadium. Wasn't the nicest guy, and it was just arrogant and just like, don't worry about it, I got it. Don't worry about it, I got it. I've been waiting. I've been worrying since 2018. I've been doing my own Excel sheets of his decline, and it's a freaking cliff. Yeah. It is not even close to what he's doing. And to me, it reminds me of the days when Shaq was coming down. It's just basketball stuff again, sorry. But it's just reminds me of somebody just, he's on the other side of his peak, is not doing well, but
he still kept the bravado going.
He was
still the best.
He acts like he's getting paid big, which is he's getting paid big, but man, it's
getting paid to be big.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a guy who got a big fat contract and stopped playing.
Yeah, and I mean, you bring up a good point. I think that's something that's kind of resonated with people, because it used to be where, if Kenley had an interaction with media, you often don't see that sort of thing. You don't get to hear how he talks to them. You don't get to hear his tone. You get to hear, how it's written out in an article, and you can take that a lot of different ways. I think that's a lot of things get lost in translation. But when you and I got to actually talk to him about it, it was just like, oh, I don't like his attitude about this. He's kind of a jerk about this. He's putting the blame on other people. He's almost like looking at media like, this is what you guys write about me. And I'm like, no, you did that. You lost the game. And he's like, no, it doesn't sit well when you don't when you don't take the blame for something that you did. I mean, it was on him.
And that's on the bad side of him too, right? And you try to be a good fan, and you try to think about all the good things that he could bring to the table, right? And you say he's a veteran. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be a good veteran. He's a good influence during practice. He's doing all this. But then when you go to spring training, who's running by himself in the outfield? Yep. Who's doing his own drills in the outfield and not talking to anybody, not talking to any of the young guys? And hey, look, granted, I only have limited visibility. I've been in the locker room one spring training. From that perspective, I didn't see much. But then you look at, oh man, all these guys went to his wedding. Okay, that's cool to get him to sign a contract.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had that perception of being a bad teammate or anything like that. So that's never been a question.
My point was he's not a good veteran.
But yeah, he's not a David Price. He doesn't give you everything that you would assume that you would want.
He is not a guy. So just to put it in perspective, David Price is a guy where he recognized the talent that's on the field. He recognized the talent that's in the starting rotation and said it himself. Hey, if they need to go to the bullpen, I'll go to the bullpen. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm great in leverage. I can be that guy. Jury's still out on that one, but
at least he tried.
18 months.
You put the shoe on the other foot. You put that with Kenley. You say, hey, Kenley, you recognize the talent on this team. We got a lot of guys that could close games. Can you pitch the seventh? I don't think that would go over well.
No, I got to change my Instagram. Then,
I can 100% guarantee you that wouldn't go over well, and he wouldn't stand for it, and he wouldn't do it. And I'm convinced of that. I mean, obviously we are not him. We are not Dave Roberts. We don't know everything, but I'm pretty sure of that. And that to me spells disaster for a lot of different reasons. It was rough because you could see him being brought into the game, and you knew right away what was going to happen. It wasn't even a question. To me, it wasn't disappointing because I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, there's no way he comes in and
we thought it was going to happen when he came in for 5 outs in Colorado. After his first batter in Colorado, he locked in, and he was like, shit, this is Kenley Jansen. He's doing it again. He's back.
Got velocity. He had cut.
He didn't look very good in his game finish. It was not a save, but he did pitch that second game closing out Kershaw's game, you can see a little wild, a little erratic.
Oh, look, this is a perfect comment. Junior Valdez. Another lame post. It's a blown save. Get it next time around. It's only April. Man, it's been since 2018, JR or Junior, or whoever your name is.
Yeah.
Well, man, this kind of take is the worst take I've ever seen.
I think that guy's going more for like the articles that you would see and the quotes that you would see. And let's talk about us.
Either way,
we've been doing this for a while. We've been seeing it. The comments are going off to veer into that topic. Platinum Paradise on YouTube says it was very characteristic, 100% very much. Jew saying we've chosen to pick on Jansen. We are choosing violence, but we're also choosing the future of the organization. The Dodgers are trying to go back-to-back as World Series champions, and how did they win that World Series last year? Well, it didn't involve Kenley in the ninth a whole bunch in October, and that's something where you start to see it. There's patterns. These are very much patterns.
That's where Dave is great. Dave is great at putting him in situations where people are going to remember the good things about Kenley.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's good because in his legacy, he's managing his legacy a little bit. But right now, he's putting him in situations where Kenley's doing it to himself too.
Yeah,
it's rough.
It was tough there in that final game in Oakland because it just seemed like there was so much that was ready to crack. I mean, Oakland had gone 0 for the season. The Dodgers were playing well, but Kenley was going back to back, and you got to figure you do feel bad. Like we don't want to be here, tweeting like our heart rate's going up because we're worried about this. No, we want to be positive about it, but it's just these are facts. These are how people feel. This is how us as fans and as media feel about it, and we've seen it. We've seen it for years. In fact, I throw back. This is the first time I think we've done this here on this show where we have takes. We have hot takes. We have different things we say, and we often forget to go in the way back machine or intentional talk to have back in time and all that. We don't call ourselves out on many things. In this case, I'm going to call myself out on something nice. This is episode number 188 of the Blue Heaven podcast, all the way back in episode 57, May 19th, 2019. Flash forward nearly 2 years ago. And this is what a young FRG had to say about Kenley. I think we've just gotten to an interesting point in our relationship with Kenley as a fan base with a player. Obviously, he's still a great closer, allegedly. He's a fine pitcher. He's the best to ever do it in a Dodger uniform in the history of the Dodgers. One of the best to ever do it by closing or by conversion percentage in the history of baseball. But the way I started looking at this, and I'm probably going to be a little off base with this, but I went hard on a monologue today in my head about it, just really relating our relationship to Kenley. It's just we're in a long-term relationship right now. And that's what we want back. Kenley used to do it all. He was the best. He'd bring us flowers. He'd make us feel like queens. And then he started making us feel insecure. He brought us to that party, and he said something rude at a party. He made us just feel uncomfortable. That was 2017 World Series. Then we spent 2018, working on some things and trying to get that spark back. But now it's 2019, and we moved in together because we hoped that would help, and we figured that would help the relationship. But all we do is sit in bed at night on our phones and argue about the dumb little things. I'm concerned about our future, Kenley. I'm telling you. Where's
the clap button?
My friends make fun of us. My friends make fun of us because you won't put a ring on it. I'm telling you. Make me feel beautiful again, California. I'm telling you, my friend. That's all I got to say on that matter. And we got a ring put on it.
Man, I'm holding the baby right now.
we got a ring put on it, and Kenley wasn't overly involved in the ring part. Sure, he was involved. He had a.
What are you talking about? He forgot to back up home plate.
He had a fine 2020 regular season. Hey, at least he backed up home plate on Wednesday.
Thank God. He was like, I better be here because they're gonna ask.
That's another thing we got to talk about too. Will Smith, dude's got to catch a ball before he goes for the swipe.
Right,
I know the situation.
Skip low on him. Yeah. It's tough. He's going into the runner. I'm going to give Will Smith a pass on that one because he's a god.
Yeah.
Look how young and stupid we were.
I know, right?
And we were so full of hope. Well, we got a World Series out of it.
Yeah, we eventually got a World Series. But again, long time ago, same thing. That was in 2019 that I said all of that, and it's the same feeling now. We've continued this long-term relationship, and okay, so we don't want to get that. We don't want to break up because we moved in together, or we bought a car together. So splitting the assets is a whole thing or whatever. I don't know.
It's because if you break up, nobody wants me.
That's why you specifically are.
Yeah.
No,
it's the same for him. He's just like, hey, I'm under contract. I can act the way I want, and this is the way I am. And then he's just gonna give these cliche answers all the time. He's given up. Like, I'm gonna straight up say, he's given up. It's over. There's nothing he can do that will improve the situation. I don't care if he gets 5 saves in a row. It's only because we got a big ass lead, right?
Yeah.
But I just think he needs to adjust and go, be a good teacher. Teach Bruzdar, teach the other guys. Just be part of the team and show some happiness in the dugout and show some team camaraderie and all that kind of stuff. Get back to doing your charity stuff,
I feel like there's a lot we definitely miss that goes on in the bullpen and all that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I don't want to judge all of it on that.
Yeah, I'm sure he does lead, but he's not as not as vocal. Like you hear the Dodgers, we've heard them all for years talk about Justin Turner as this great leader, this great mentor. Clayton Kershaw, great leader, great mentor. Max Muncy's hearing it now from players like McKinstry and Gavin Lux and all of that. You don't often hear Kenley Jansen's name thrown in there.
You watch on any of the backstage Dodgers, especially during spring training, and you'll see guys like JT step up. They'll say something during a team meeting. They'll be working with young guys on the field. They'll be working with new guys on the field. They'll be working with guys who aren't even on the 40-man roster, which is not something that's really common. You'll see guys like David Price, also brand new to the team from last year, step up, say something during spring training, working with other guys, working with the younger pitchers. You don't see stuff like that from Kenley. And we're not saying it doesn't happen. We're not saying we know that it doesn't happen, but it doesn't exactly bode well when you have this attitude about you when you're,
look,
crapping the bed.
I'll give him possible language barrier and being shy. I know he does.
More,
I know he's shy. He's soft spoken. Just the way that mentality is.
He seems more like an internalized dude. I mean, he picked up playing piano to tune out all the noise. A lot of the things he seems to want to do are more solo, more family oriented too. He does his family stuff, which is great,
which is why he's a good closer. Maybe he just can block things out and he's a solo act. And it's a blessing and a curse for the kind of personality that he has.
I'm interested to know what kind of personality like Mariano was. You know, that type of personality, like that guy. How did he handle himself? What did he do with other players? How was he in the bullpen? How was he with young guys? Things like that. And I don't know that because obviously Mariano hasn't been around for a minute.
You guys did an interview with Gagne earlier a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Gagne was just the nicest person on earth.
Right?
It was great.
It's his Canadianness.
The dude's been out of baseball for X amount of years. Hasn't been a part of the Dodgers for a long time, other than making appearances with coaching and things like that. But the fact that he was willing to talk to us in the first place and very excited to do so is a far cry from what Kenley is right now, because Kenley would not talk to us right now.
Yeah.
Not one-on-one. In 4 years. Hey, bring this episode back in 4 years. Let's see if he
Oh man.
He's like our best friend.
I know.
This show better not be still happening in 4 years.
I'll be dead.
Digging into a few, you'll be dead. Be dead at what, 31, 32. Getting into a few of the comments here. Joshua Kenley says, Joshua says, Kenley never accepts responsibility or owns his mistakes like Kershaw does. Kershaw, especially, in 2019, very much owned his mistakes and years of it.
Even 2021, this year, during spring outings, he's been like, look, I sucked today. He's not like hey, this wasn't working for me. I thought I did really well with this. He comes in and he's like, oh, I sucked today, man. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. Just the very straightforward, I really sucked. And the opening day, same thing. And he's like, you know what? Had a few things working for me, but man, I sucked. I just sucked.
It's the thing that, I'm all into these leadership books and all that kind of stuff. It's like the emotional IQ of a leader. He understands what people perceive of him, and he acknowledges his weaknesses so that he can play onto his strengths. That's what he does. Kershaw does a great job of doing that. That's why it's still, that video of him, confessing in 2019 is still embedded in my mind and heart. And it made me love him that much more as a fan, because he was it sits, and that made the happiness of 2020 that much more fun.
That's why they were talking about the question from the media thing the other day when they were asking about, hey, you're getting your rings tomorrow. I didn't expect the question to pop up, but he's like, what does it mean to you that so many people want this because of you? So many people are like, I want this World Series for Clayton Kershaw. I want this World Series so Kershaw gets his ring. And players on the team also, by the way, because a lot of them have said that. And he was just like, I think it shook him, because he was just like, man, I just Like I didn't think about it that way, and I think I maybe took it for granted.
Yeah, he said he was very grateful. He probably did take it for granted, and you can see that. And now you see the the shoulders have dropped in that regard. But I mean, you even watch them celebrating in 2020. It's everybody going up. Dave is like, "This is for you, man, Belly." I mean, he wasn't super baked at that moment, so he's like, "Dog, this is for you, bro," or whatever it is. It's a terrible Belly. But the comments are going off pretty hot, pretty heaty as usual. Juan Silva says we cheated on him with Urias, which step up right there. Leslie says we should be filling out divorce papers now. Dave Stauffer on Facebook says time to move on. It ain't working. That's what we're arguing here. Hatfield says a short 23 months ago, and Anthony says Clint been living some life. Yes. Papa Bear's put on a few more LBs, and he already had enough LBs at that time. Derek asked if we could trade Jansen for a sandwich. What kind of sandwich? Let us know in the comments below. Bobby Jenkins asking for... Isn't Bobby Jenkins... No, Bobby Jenks was a former closer.
Yeah.
But Jenkins over here says bring Brendan Morrow up. He's at best going to be like a second half of the season guy.
He is the Jimmy Nelson replacement for the second half of the season, because I don't think Jimmy's making it through the first half.
Matt De La Rosa, who was at the game yesterday, Wednesday, the fateful game, and he added us on the Instagram or the tweeters. So thank you for sending us a nice picture over there. Matt says it was at the game, and I heard a guy 4 rows back saying, "I have no faith in Kenley," which is what we all felt immediately when it happened. So we had flashback episode 57. Now we flashback all the way to Blue Heaven episode 185. Again, this is 188. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about our... I think last week.
Last week, yeah.
Was that? No, I wasn't on.
You were not. You were not here.
Look how different we look.
So the idea was, what are the concerns? What are the question marks on this team, of which we had a hard time coming up with question marks. The one that always did come up, though, how far into the season will we begin the Jansen shouldn't be closing conversation, which is already a question we had in our minds. Will Kenley be the closer by October? I say 13 games. 13 games into the season, we'll be having those question marks, to which Brooke beautifully followed me up that he'll blow a save in Colorado.
He will blow a save in Colorado. I mean,
these are facts.
Look, starting the season in Colorado, it is just a trap. That is just Rob Manfred. He's just putting the middle finger up to the Dodgers, man. That is so rude. Coming off a World Series win, why can't we just start off at home? Why can't we just play in Los Angeles? Really rude. Really don't appreciate it. I do think that he will blow a save immediately, like right off the bat, and it's gonna be absolute chaos.
Hey guys, sometimes we're good at this stuff. All right, I said 13 games. It was 7. We're already calling for his head.
We did it. We broke him.
Is this a slap hands?
This is
slap hands.
This is one of those things where we accidentally bring things to life. We do that on occasion here. If you guys have noticed, we tend to. It usually works in the reverse.
We trash talk somebody. Really good.
Oh man, I'm so good at
being bad at that. Yeah.
You trash talk somebody so heavily, and then they come out and have the most amazing week of their careers, and then everybody. I am single-handedly responsible for Gavin Luck's success. Please don't pull that clip, because he will really not like that. No. He's not going to be happy about that. But
energy.
I have a tendency to accidentally do that and fix people and then get called out for it. And that's okay. I'm okay to be that guy. I don't mind that. I don't mind.
Everybody has a place on the team.
I'll fall on the sword. It's okay.
Isn't there that Padres pitcher that you did such a great job with too?
Oh, I killed him. He's dead.
Oh, yeah.
That number 4 pitcher, Mike Clevenger, who immediately blew out his elbow.
I accidentally...
No, that was the other one.
I accidentally...
The sheriff.
The sheriff.
I accidentally ended Chris Paddock's career and blew up Mike Clevenger's elbow, which I am so sorry about that one, because he is a good pitcher, and that was meant in jest, and that was not supposed to be serious. Yeah. It was us making fun of the Padres. Chris Paddock is not good, though, and I continue to stand by that.
Would you trade him for Padres?
Hold on, update. Derek follows back up and says he would trade Kenley for a pastrami sandwich.
From the hat?
From the hat? Oh.
Let us know in the comments below. Where's that pastrami coming from? Go ahead.
Double dip. Oh, sorry.
Are we talking? We got Gary on food now, so now he's gone. Yeah. So Kenley has done the job. So we just move on. Whatever you guys were saying, I'm sure it was going to be very hot. But a sandwich is a different story. Again, I've lived the life, as Anthony said.
I've lived the life.
Kenley still gets the job done more often than not. However, not is increasing in frequency. We put out a post today on our DodgersNation.com. Daniel Palma, one of our fine news writers here at the website. Check him out. It's at something on the internet.
At our friend Daniel Palma.
Daniel_Palma 96. Children. Kenley's 11th blown save in his last 92 appearances. To compare, it took him 3 full seasons and 205 appearances between 2016 and 2018 for him to blow the same number of save opportunities. So
he's great during that time.
Yes, it's a problem, and this is why we're talking about it. Kenley Jansen is the weakest link. Goodbye.
So we know the problem. What are we going to do about it?
So the question is, how do we move forward with this? That's the biggest thing.
How do you get the organization to move
trade
forward?
him for a pastrami sandwich.
That's how you do that. Here's the thing. Okay, same episode. Same episode that we just referenced right now. We talked about this, and that in my ideal world, and I stand by this to this day, and I think a lot of Dodgers fans will stand by me with this. In the ideal world, the Dodgers move away from a traditional closer role. I think that is their only path to success. I think if they can adopt that, if Dave Roberts can get used to that and cuddle up against it and be like, this is nice, I love it, we will be very successful. In the sense of, there are several guys on our team that have been very dominant closers in their past. Several of them. You can throw Blake Trinan in there in some ninth inning roles. You can throw Victor in there for some ninth inning roles. You can throw Knebel in there, who has looked great, by the way. You can throw him in there for some ninth innings. There is no limitation on who needs to be the closer, and there shouldn't be. And I really stand by that, because I think we got to see it best. We got to see it operate at peak capacity during the World Series run, when you got to see Julio just go, when he was just like, hey, we're just going to let him run. Let's see what happens. We're going to let him run. He's pitching great. Why take him out? Why take him out and put in Kenley, who's been shaky? Beautiful. Perfectly executed. The best managing that Dave Roberts has ever done in his entire managerial career. And that's not a stretch. Honestly, it's not. But I think the moment that we get away from the traditional closer role with the Dodgers, I think is when you see the most success long term, because it puts you in a position where you can overcome any sort of stretch of failure, any sort of slump, anything like that. You can get past it. You can say, hey, this guy's slumping. We're going to move him back to a less high leverage role. Here we go.
It makes the most economic sense, too, because you don't have to overspend for a closer.
You don't have to pay anybody.
There comes a point in time where the game needs to evolve. The game evolved in the 80s to where there was a traditional closer, or there was a set closer. Dennis Eckersley was the guy. Of course, we have plenty of images of Dennis Eckersley in our brain holes.
I wasn't there.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
And there comes a time where you move things away from that. We had the opener revolution over the last few years. We've seen
I pass on that one.
The platoons, the shift and all that. Well, maybe it's time for the Dodgers to get ahead of the curve and stop relying on one guy in the ninth. There's going to be data that tells you something that doesn't work with that whoever's coming up with that series of people, yada yada. It just makes sense. There are really only 2 players, in my opinion, that the Dodgers revert back to like archaic or old school mentality. So it's Clayton Kershaw, it's Kenley Jansen. Kershaw at least figures it out.
Yeah, I mean, they put him, honestly, a very similar situation with Kershaw, and this is like a reoccurring theme, where they put him in positions to fail. They haven't put him in positions to succeed. And I do feel for Kenley in that sense, because they haven't recognized it. They haven't gotten ahead of the curve, which is something they're very good at doing, historically speaking. Yeah. They haven't gotten ahead of his regression, and that's their fault, and that is on them. And that is on Dave Roberts for looking at it and going completely against the analytics that tells you everything opposite about putting Kenley in on back-to-back days, number one, but also on back-to-back days with a night game and a morning followed by an afternoon game. They're not doing him any favors. So for the people who are like, hey, why don't you defend Kenley a little bit? That is my defense of him. He's not being used to his best, and I don't think he's being put into good situations, and I think that they continue to fail him.
There are important outs all throughout a ball game.
Not just in the ninth.
They don't just happen in the ninth inning.
Got to stop real quick because Matt De La Rosa over on YouTube dropped a super chat for $20. Hey, Matt, we appreciate you, man. He said, have a Michelada on me. I can buy a Michelada now next time we get to actually go to the game.
No, you can. It's $20. You can put a down payment.
I can put a Michelada on layaway and then come back with the next super chat. We're good, boys. We're good. We did it.
In the continuing saga of what we're trading Kenley Jansen for, Derek follows up finally. It's the hat. We're going with the hat. And he adds chili cheese fries.
With pickles and tomatoes on top.
And he says it's the one on Lake, so we're good.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm OG from Alhambra. Sorry. I don't like.
I live by the lake one. So
you live by the lake? Wow, what are we paying you? I didn't even know we have a lake here in South Pass, but you know,
welcome.
Cool Whip Special says, "Here come the LA food takes." No, we have too many other things to complain about today.
I could. No, okay.
Kevin says Johnny's pastrami
in West
sandwich.
Side, it's okay. They don't do a dip.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think it's as good as the Hat.
We're all in now.
I'm sorry.
I need a single can for Gary.
But it is an East Side West Side kind of thing. Like there are hardcore Johnny pastrami guys.
All right, and everybody, let that be the most important thing you've taken away from the show today.
Oh, Matt just gave another $19.99, so you can have your michelada.
Oh, Matt,
Really?
now I can buy a full michelada.
I feel bad now,
dude. Matt, next time we're at a game,
just forced him into it.
Matt, next time we're at a game, if I'm there, I'm buying you a michelada.
Let's send him a DVD. We'll send him a DVD.
Yeah.
It's not of us. That would be weird.
Matt,
but,
we'll hook you up with a DVD.
Yeah,
Greatest,
for sure.
Slide into
hit.
the DMs for us, please.
Everyone's gonna be Matt De La Rosa when I go at the
Hello, I'm Matt.
Juice Narrow says, "I would take an air quotes tuna sandwich from Subway for Jansen." Remember that time where it's like newspaper
paste.
or something? Wasn't it like newspapers from China?
Not good.
Something.
Wait,
you don't remember when the tuna is very fake at Subway or something like that? Gary
Better
doesn't read
times.
the news.
Yeah, better times.
I don't go to Subway.
There were more important things happening in the news in that time frame. A Sale Loner says, "You think the fans will chant 'Fire Jansen'?" Clap. I don't know, but I think he'll get booed.
Do you remember the last time he got booed at the stadium?
Yeah,
that was rough, and he was not happy about it. And I honestly you remember when they booed Pedro Baez pretty hard one time, and that for me was rough.
That was rough.
It was rough.
That.
I know you loved it, but it was rough for me because the dude can't defend himself. First of all,
yeah.
Second of all,
you know how he can defend himself? Pitch well.
You're a
I'm
rough
evil.
fan.
I do not like.
Second
Pedro
of all,
Baez.
Pedro Baez did not get paid $20 million a year.
No.
Yeah.
So you really got to feel for that dude. That's another guy they put in just terrible situations. The worst. Yimi Garcia, another guy they put in terrible situations.
Oh, James.
I think Dave Roberts is bad at bullpens.
Booed a Dodger. Like, I'm trying to think. Have I ever booed a home team? But
usually you just make Puig get thrown out on base.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And you try to catch every fly ball or foul ball, regardless of where it is.
I just have jitters. Yeah. No, I don't know.
No, you're not. Yeah, you're not.
I kind of felt bad for.
You're not negative.
Yeah, I felt bad for Jansen when he got booed. I can understand why, because you guys know me.
Yeah.
I've been on him for like a couple years.
Yeah.
You know, but like I don't know if at that point it's like I'm not yelling at the guy. I'm just
Scott over on Periscope said laughing at the thought of Petey getting booed bad only once. Pedro Baez is going to be one of those guys that in the distant future you get to talk to somebody your own age and be like, "You remember Pedro Baez?" And they're like, "Oh, I remember Pedro Baez."
I can spin a yarn about Baez. Now, the Astros come to town.
Oh, we got
August.
standing ovation for
Standing boovation.
Boovation for PD, yes.
That's where you stand. You go, boo! Just like a hard, like very enunciated boo.
I feel bad for him, dude.
He was good for 1 year.
He tried his best, but you know what? Should have stuck at third base and just retired. I'm sorry. I will always never like Pedro Baez. It's just he failed too many times. He wasn't as bad to Kershaw's postseason ERA as I thought, but he still built that narrative in our brains, my brains, pretty early. Following up a little bit more, Jason McClure, our friend Jason McClure says Clevenger's elbow is on his organization, not you, Brooke. So you have been absolved of any wrongdoing.
Felt terrible for that.
Jason the model McClure.
Yes, the model.
The model.
Yeah, so we know the Dodgers aren't going to go with, kind of sticking on this a little bit, real quick, they're not going to do a closer by committee. They're not going to do it in the right situation to the right guy in the right situation. Who do you think Dave's going to eventually go to? Is it going to be Knebel?
I think it could be Knebel. I think it could be Trinan. I think one of the two. I've been an advocate of Victor since last year. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, Victor's still got to work some things out this year even, but that's okay. I don't mind it. He's young. He's got time. Brusdar is. I know everybody's like Brusdar throws hard. He's the closer, but don't be fooled. Brusdar is great and he has a ton of potential, but he needs to develop some swing and miss stuff before he can be closer. If he does develop swing and miss stuff, holy crap, what a closer!
That's what I'm saying.
Holy
Kelly
crap.
should be teaching him.
Yeah, I mean that's alternative.
Just that one pitch.
Alternatively, Kenley doesn't really have a good breaking ball. or any other pitch other than a cutter. Really,
right. He doesn't have a good cutter anymore.
They tell you that he has a 2-seamer. He doesn't really have a 2-seamer. They tell you that he has a slider, and he has a slider, but you can, number one, you can see it coming immediately, and number two, it's just not good. It's just not. I mean, he is a one-pitch closer, and that was okay for a very long time, but now that one pitch is not good.
Mm-hmm. That's all eggs in one basket. That's where it fits, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it and you're like, hey, Mariano did it for all those years. And I'm like, Mariano was the greatest closer of all time. I don't really know what else to tell you.
He always earned it.
He did.
He was skinnier,
He
too.
never lost. No, we're on that.
He lost the World Series.
Ice cream.
Gary thinks that Kenley lives on a diet of ice cream, I think.
He did go
Mostly.
dairy-free for a little bit and lose a lot of weight.
There's dairy-free ice cream, isn't there?
Sherbet?
That's not real ice cream.
No.
It's coward ice cream.
Dude, if I'm making $24 million a year, I'm eating ice cream every day.
Okay.
I don't care.
No one give Gary $24 million a year.
Now, but what if you made all of that money based on you being in shape and able to throw a cutter 95 miles an hour?
No, I mean, the way I'll think like Kenley.
91.
Oh, man, I'm getting my back pay for what I did
he
up
made
to
that
2017.
money back then,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think his mentality is wrong. It's not like I think he's feeling like he's getting paid for what he did before, not what he's doing now.
To be fair, though, he absolutely earned it before.
Yes.
Because when he was that guy, I think people forget, he was, I mean,
amazing.
It was the equivalent of Gagne coming into the game. It was game over. Like, forget it. Like, you guys might as well just pack it up. You're done.
He was ridiculous for that like it was a solid 5-year stretch, but he was otherworldly for about 3. And, again, we throw back to my video, my outtake from 2019. There's the flowers. There's the courtship. There's all right, and I can see a future with this guy. And then we got lazy and sit in bed on your phone at night. All right, I'm bored of the Kenley talk. Jim over on Facebook says we need Russell Martin back as closer. Anytime we could bring a Russell Martin comment into the show, I'm going to get it.
What's Russell up to?
Being a dad.
Oh,
I bet he's crushing it too.
He's so good
because he's so good at everything. He's perfect.
I love him.
Blue Dodger fan on YouTube. We weren't going to talk so much about this just because there's still a lot of unexplored angles. I don't know. The Blue Dodger fan asked about the Bauer baseball thing, about Bauer having his balls taken by MLB or whatever it is. Yeah. I guess everybody's in a tizzy about that, and Kenny Rosenthal dropped something today.
Bauer called him a gossip blogger.
Yeah, he always does that.
He does, yeah. He doesn't like Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny has...
There's no problems when it's something that doesn't pain him.
To be a fence sitter on this, Kenny has taken a significant step back this year, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what went on, but
he's chasing the rainbow. He's for that.
He's a leprechaun, yeah. He's missed on a lot of stuff this year to the point where people are like, "All right, Kenny is not the guy anymore. Passon's the guy," which is that is a huge changing of the guard. First of all, because it used to be, hey, when Kenny tweets something, that's truth. Yeah. That's it. Don't accept anything else. Kenny's truth. But now it's like, did Passon tweet it? And I don't care.
Yeah, it really is.
Kudos to Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Rest in peace, Yahoo. But I definitely I can see that. I think like when I'm saying he's chasing the rainbow, Rosenthal's chasing the rainbow. He got that extreme high of the Astros storyline and the cheating. And that's one of those career makers. Well, he already had a career made.
He had a hell of a career.
So you're trying to do it again. You're trying to break the next huge story. Well,
listen, when you're the highest paid person at the Athletic, you got to bring some juice, man. You got to bring some stories. I mean, I don't know if he's the highest paid person at the Athletic, but I can pretty safely say that he's
one of the higher paid ones.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's the guy. Like, he's the guy that when he went to the Athletic, they were like, oh my God, they got Ken Rosenthal.
Ken the Athletic Rosenthal's full legal given name.
So for those of you who don't know the context of it, Major League Baseball is taking balls out of play to examine them this year for foreign substances. Apparently, it is being done league-wide. However, we have not been able to witness it because no one said anything. And obviously, it's happened. It's going to be part of the game moving forward. They're going to send them off to some lab in the desert or wherever they do it that's going to test to see what the foreign substance is, if it's illegal, if it's pine tar, if it's just sunscreen or rosin, whatever it might be.
Yeah. They're testing Houston, right?
They should test
cameras
all
in the
of
ball?
Houston. Like, they should test the city of Houston for a lot of different things. But they're going to send a couple of Trevor Bauer's balls from the game off to it, and that was the storyline because it is Trevor Bauer. So it makes sense. And he's talked about it in the past. He's talked about the fact that players use any sort of substance that they can find. Some of them have very extreme, complex concoctions. Some of them just use pine tar. Some of them just use a sunscreen mixed with something else or rosin or things like that, which is very common, I believe, the sunscreen and rosin combination, because that is technically legal.
Some of them use heroin. No, wait, I'm getting word.
Some of them use jalapeno up your nose, according to Major League.
Inaccurate information from Reporter Kitty.
So that's been a little bit of a debacle today because Trevor Bauer did not take kindly to the way it was written, and we'll see how it plays out. Because if it does come back that he was using an illegal foreign substance, then it gets into this weird murky water area of like, hey, there's no precedence and you didn't really set a punishment, so now what do we do? Because some people are like, oh, well, if they get caught, throw the book at them. And I'm like, well, I think you're underestimating how many people might actually get caught this year. And so that could create a very awkward circumstance to where you have set yourself up for failure. Me personally, in talking to people, it sounds like players just in general are like, hey, if a pitcher needs to grip something to grip to not put a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in my rib cage, like, by all means. Well, I mean, that was a Gagne thing that he talked about. Yeah, like, hey, like, in my opinion, a lot of people would prefer that you have at least some sort of substance. He's like, but the problem is it's not league mandated. He's like, that's the issue. And I think that's the issue that Bauer even pressed, was like, whatever direction you're going to go with it, league mandated. That's all. And just make it across the board more common issue. So
Ray on YouTube says that's BS. If Bauer's balls are inspected, phrasing says then Garrett Cole's should be too, and tenfold, because Garrett Cole had that marked change in spin rate when he went from
if
Pittsburgh
you want to see like
Houston.
the ground zero for spin rate increase and suspicion, just go look at Garrett Cole's baseball savant numbers. Look at his RPM. Oh my gosh.
What's it now in New York though?
It's still pretty high. It's still up there with his Houston numbers.
So he figured out where to put it in his hat to like.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how anybody does it.
Well, Walker does it right here.
Walker does this, which is, I mean, to me, that one is like no one's ever been like, hey, that to me is the biggest indication that teams don't care. Like they're like, hey, we want you to be able to grip the ball because not you, Walker Buehler in particular, could absolutely kill somebody, dude. Absolutely. They're like, hey, tack that finger up, baby. Let's get it going.
Yeah, and that's usually where you see a lot of them. They're going right here on the palm of it, or even like a little inside. You'll see that. Buehler is actually a thumb guy. He seems to like it on his thumb. He's into thumb stuff.
Thumb play. Get into it.
Thumbelina. We got some more. Daniel says we got to get Kenley on that Trevor Bauer sticky. Down.
Kenley obviously not using it.
All right, let's take a little break here to remind you, one, about the giveaway we have going on our Instagram. We are giving away this autographed Gavin Lux baseball. It is MLB authenticated. Isn't that cool? Yeah, we're partnered up again this season with our friends over at Elite Sports Collectibles. Check them out on Instagram. That is at EliteSC1 on Instagram. And also, if you're at it, check out their Facebook group. It's a cool spot to get a whole bunch of different paraphernalia or memorabilia, as they call it. Sorry, I had Bauer on the mind there. Yeah, we're giving this away on Monday, the whatever day that is. And so we're going to do it here live on the show. So make sure you tune in live and listen for your name. Other than that, let's also give away, let's give away another shirt, because we said we were going to do that. 2 shirts this week.
We are giving away another shirt.
Did you come up with a question?
I do have a question. I just came up with one right now because I'm that good at everything. Everything that I touch turns to gold, guys.
Yes, everything. Guys, it is time for Dodger Baseball, and we're giving away one of the shirts from gearup.la, one of our masterpiece shirts. Actually, I'm a very big fan of this shirt because it reminds me of Vin. We got Vin in the background there. So we're going to give this shirt away in the middle of the stream today, but if you happen to not win based on whatever question Brooke comes up with right now, and you have to answer in the comments below, so get your thumbs ready. If you want shirts from Gear Up, there's going to be some, we got this one, Gary's, I think, well, you were wearing a friend of the show earlier. We got Nation, we got LFG. You can get 10% off at Gear Up LA using promo code FOTS10. It's in the store now. Check it out. You didn't hear it from me. Get what you got. Give me something.
Here's the question. Get those fingers ready. It's not the last time you'll hear that in your life. There are 2 players right now on the Dodgers.
False.
Tied for the lead in team RBIs. Which 2 players are they? And we'll wait. And we'll wait.
That's not the button I wanted.
And we'll wait. And we'll wait.
I don't see anything. Everybody's Googling right now.
I know, right? Kevin Stern says 21.
21
for your because you're
the answer, Kevin. Hey,
yeah.
Kevin. Good throwback, Kevin. I appreciate that.
We got Katie first saying Gavin and Max.
Nope.
Oh,
Betts and Seager.
Betts and Seager is not the answer.
Do you know the answer? We got Max and
Smith
Turner
and Seager.
Nope. Oh, I think we have it.
Who?
Okay. Well, it's already on here, so I'm going to say it out loud, but I need to know the order that it came in. Seager and Turner are the answers with 7 ribbies driven in this year. And
Seager and
I believe the Seager and Turner that we have first.
I had it. Oh, where is it?
DC
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
D Castle X
Viskerviskud.
DM us.
Oh, man. Cool Up Special. You're a big fan of the show, and I appreciate you. You were just behind, like a millisecond behind. We appreciate you, though.
Katie got it wrong. She said womp womp.
Well, that's what you get for guessing instead of Googling.
I think I have a womp womp. Here it is. It's loud though. Yeah, it's a little.
That's how I feel most mornings.
It's a little pitchy. All right, is that boring? Hell yeah! But at least somebody's got a shirt, and we're gonna do that only in the streams. It's not gonna be available on the podcast because obviously, if you're listening, you already have the answer. All that kind of stuff.
Scott says there's way more than 2 guys on the roster.
That's what I said.
Is right.
I said false.
Scott is correct.
So what do I win? I win the rest
Anthony
of this beer.
Keen's wondering where we got this hat. Was it fourth quarter
shop.
Fourth quarter shop. So Anthony, this hat, just go with them. Mm-hmm. They're not a sponsor, but they were.
But
nice
they have cool hats.
Oh, that hat. They put you on.
They let me pay for this hat. Thanks.
That's very nice. Of them.
Yeah.
Zero.
They're awesome.
Appreciate it.
Zero discount as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys follow Dodgers Nation? We
are. All right. Anyways. Positive stuff. Guys, did you know that in the year of our Lord 2020, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series?
I remember. I was a wee lad.
I've lived a life.
I've lived a life.
But the Dodgers are coming home on Friday. It is Thursday, obviously, as we record this show, or as we're doing it live. The Dodgers are going to be home on Friday, and they're going to ring it up. They're going to get that ring finally. I don't know where do you put? Which finger do you put your World Series? What ring did Tim Leary? What finger did Tim Leary use?
I don't know, but if I had a ring, I'd put it on my pinky.
Zed, where you at? Zed remembers very intimately.
Yeah,
Tim Leary came by the show one time. Wild boy, but yeah, dude, this hasn't happened in a long time. 33 years, I think, officially. By numbers and calendars or whatever. Yeah. There has not been a new Dodger ring. There has not been a new World Series trophy, piece of metal at Dodger Stadium. There is now. We saw it at Dodger Stadium yesterday. It looked nice, according to reports.
Much pretty.
Thank you, John Chapper. I don't know. I mean, I'm stoked. I'm not going to the game, but I'm happy I'm not going to the game because I want to watch. I want to see all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy to not be surrounded by people, honestly. I'm not ready to be surrounded by people yet. I'm not there. Yeah, I'll get there one day. I'm not there yet. But we will. I think it's like one of those things where, I don't know if you've ever been to like an NFL game in your life or
I don't know what
college
those letters
football
are
or anything like that.
I don't know numbers.
I've been to one where I was like, you know what? It is way better watching on TV than being here because I can't see anything. So it's been a really, that's a good way to look at it. You get to see everything up close. You get to hear everything. You get to witness everything. You don't have to miss a moment. You can record it, except not without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. So there's that.
Yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. You get to cry in your own room by yourself, not surrounded by people. That's ideal. I'll probably cry. There's going to be a ring.
You're one of them cry boys, aren't you?
I'm a crier.
Proud of you.
Yeah, I'm a secret crier, like a closet crier.
Ray Tran says should have been our third ceremony in recent years. Cough, cough. Alex Cora, legendary Alex Cora. The players are obviously excited. I pulled 2 from recent. What do they call those things? Press conferences. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The media people asked Mr. Clayton Kershaw. You know that guy? You heard that name?
I know Tony Crenshaw.
Tony Crenshaw was asked about finally receiving his ring, and it turns out, you know what, he thinks it's pretty special.
Yeah, it's been marked on the calendar for a while now. I'm excited. I'm excited that we're going to have a few fans there. First of all, I mean, I think that'll be really cool. It's kind of the first time that we've all been together with fans to get to celebrate last year, so. I'm very excited about it. We don't want to look too far into the past. Obviously we got to play, we got to win, but Friday's going to be really special for me for a lot of different reasons. And it's just finally get to see that ring. It'll be pretty special.
Think of any of the players. It's got to be Kirsch that everybody's the most excited for. Like, for real.
I think even people on the team are just like, I think people are going to be getting it, obviously excited for themselves, but everybody's going to be watching him like, here he goes. It's his turn now. He's getting his ring. I don't know the order
it's
that
like
they
graduation or something like that.
Yeah. You got to turn the tassel to the other side. I'm a champion now. Things like that. I don't know how it works. I don't know the process. I've never seen it in my lifetime. Gary, you've seen it one time in your lifetime. Congratulations on that one time. Forgot it, but very much looking forward to that. I just want to see him get a ring, and he's getting it, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah,
what a life,
man! It's gonna you like the game almost comes secondary, and Walker Buehler's on the mound and all that. We'll talk a little bit about previewing the series. I realize we're probably going to be, as we're doing this show twice a week now for the season, as long as we can hold out
till I pass out
until we die. Dodgers are going to be playing that series. They're going to be playing against the Washington Nationals. They're still a team that's in the league. Half their team, I think, has the COVID or at least tested positive, so a little uncomfortable seeing that. But yeah, finally coming back home. People get to see the new ballpark. We'll dig into that a little bit. We've all seen the photos and everything. Dave, as much crap as we give Dave Roberts, very much deserves this ring. And Dave was talking about the excitement of getting that BFR.
I'm looking forward to seeing fans, Dodger fans, however many we can put in there to adhere to restrictions. I'm looking forward to getting that big fat ring, and just to kind of, put a bow on 2020. And I think that's it right there. Yeah.
The big fat ring. Have you seen it?
I've seen a couple pictures. But I haven't seen it in person. So I think we're all excited about that. And, man, what a crazy year. And, again, to cap off last year and to do that in front of our fans is something that we're all looking forward to.
It's been a while since people have been at the stadium.
Notably, the last time we were there, we, in the communist sense, once again, was not good.
Nope.
It was not good. Joe Kelly giving up dongs to Howie Kendrick, and the now retired Howie Kendrick.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Thank you, Howie. Appreciate ya. And then losing in the division series, much disappointment. That's whatever.
The rings made their way to Dodger Stadium today in a very underwhelming, carting to the middle of the field video.
They have really kept those things under wraps. Like, they have not let anybody see them, which is the Lakers one, that one was out, a couple days before.
I have a hard time believing that. I think they've seen them. They're just doing that thing.
I mean, the Lakers one was, you could see it publicly. Like, it was, someone released it and found it, and it was pretty easy to see, honestly. But the Dodgers one, I was like, by now I expected at least some image to pop up or something.
Is it huge?
It's got to be.
One would hope. I mean, Dodgers go hard.
They do.
All right, let's hope.
But the company that they use, it's like a high school ring company?
You're kidding me.
No, I mean,
Justin's on it, wasn't it?
No, it's like Jensen's or something like that, which is like, it's like a company that also does high school rings, which is not to say that it can't be good, but it's just kind of funny.
Oh, we didn't go to that jeweler.
We didn't go to the Lakers one?
We didn't do that?
No.
Could have got it to Jared.
Could have got one that.
Damn, man.
Like,
I thought this would be like
the Lakers one pulls off,
Yeah.
And there's like the numbers. It could have had like Tommy's face underneath it or something like that. Just
something.
You can go to occasionally like that spot. Hellsberg will give you a free Xbox, so they could have done that.
There you go. See, Mrs. Me 3. That's the brand of her high school ring.
Oh, wow.
I'm assuming there are much more diamonds in it.
Do they get Lettermans?
Well, I never got a high school ring.
I have it. I lost it. It's gone. I don't know why I got it.
I opened the box.
I barely went to high
lost
school.
my diploma.
Forget about me.
That's good. Yeah, we have an Astros World Series ring back there, and I think that one is actually made by the same people.
By the way, that one was given to this guy as it was like a wedding gift, right?
Yeah.
It was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? We're from Texas," and then it was like a.
Yep. Oh, look, see, yeah, Jostens. I was right. Eric says, yep, my high school ring's Jostens. Gray says Jostens.
Oh,
yep.
wow.
Apparently, Jostens does many team championship rings, though, so it's fine.
Are they going to send
I was just expecting like an LA designer to get in on it. The guy from Beverly Hills that does all the...
Yeah.
It's okay. That's fine. I'm not going to complain. I'm sad.
It's 2020, man.
Hopefully
it was
great.
a pandemic, dude.
I guess there's 3 times as many rings that you have to get, so the costs go up 3
Really?
times.
Do we have to find a way to not shit on the rings? Shit on Kenley for the first 40 minutes of the show.
This is
We
angry.
haven't even seen the rings yet.
This is
you know
angry.
what? If you can't get the ring, you should get the ring shirt at gearup.la.
Oh, 2020, ring it up.
Ring it up.
Hopefully they look similar.
I know. We're going to redraw it.
Well, the redesign.
Yeah.
Yeah, also Muncie's dropping some hot cleats on Friday.
He's got Tommy cleats.
Tommy
He's
cleats
got
is pretty cool.
really?
Says Blue Heaven on Earth and on front, and says something about the
Friend of the show.
Yep.
Yeah, he talked about it with Vasse earlier on an Instagram Live. Check out our friends over at AM 570 LA Sports. They're going to be doing Vasse's going to be doing Instagram Lives throughout the season. If that's your thing,
Whatever you want to do.
Cool.
Vasse's got got a really good relationship with players, and that is not something that everybody has because it's very difficult to do because players are all different.
You know how much they love him when they pour that much beer on him every time they celebrate.
A lot of beer.
Jim's
kind of dating himself here. Says he has a ring from class of '92.
Well,
so Jim,
so
congratulations. You're class of '92 too.
I'm class of '95.
Okay,
that's fine.
So if dumping beer on somebody is a sign of endearment, what is a bucket of water? A full trash can of water.
Splashkey?
I mean, love. So much love.
Yeah. Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're going.
Yeah.
Love.
I was just saying.
Love.
Next. Where's
Anyways,
the
next.
Where's the
All
random
right.
show?
We are going back to Dodger Stadium again in the communist sense. There's going to be new stuff around there. So Gary, sorry, we're going to have to hide you as we play this video over you.
Look at those seats.
The home run seats will finally be alive.
Look at that.
There's going to be a lot more social distancing than you're used to. There's going to be a lot of World Series trophy that you're not used to, and they have the plaque. They don't do banners at Dodger Stadium. They have plaques up there. But the plaza is still not going to be open to fans just because they want to mitigate the commingling of people. Obviously, we are still attempting to come out of a pandemic here and all that. So probably should be careful.
I'm going to throw up some signs in that virtual photo op, dude.
Yeah, that thing is a little weird.
I like it.
What are they doing right there?
It's the virtual photo op. So it's like
I
computer
get
generated. You go sit down with them. It goes over it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. So long, new Doug.
Scott. So, Gary, because you got covered, Scott said, "So long, new Doug."
Piss off, Ghost.
Piss off, Ghost. But there are new rules, new stuff going on there. I wrote some of this down up on my Twitter earlier today. So, one of the things I was kind of surprised people were pretty stoked about is Dodger Stadium has added a mobile locker self-storage facility.
Oh.
Like
in
Disneyland.
Yeah. Or like a water park or whatever. So that's a thing.
They talk about like O'Malley adding like the Disneyland features of things, right?
Yeah, there it is right there. It's $10 per game fee to use that. Dodger Stadium notes, masks are required, of course. Importantly, folks, net gaiters do not count. Bandanas and masks with vent valves. The fancy masks are crap. All those things are
If you
not
can fly
exactly.
with it, you can go into the stadium with it. That's the rule.
Bags, backpacks, large purses, a lot of stuff if they can't see in it, or if it's huge, they're not going to let you in with bags anymore. Diaper bags and clear plastic bags smaller than 12 by 12 by 16 are okay. Corey Seager's wife was. Oh, by the way, we have the bar on the screen now. There's three new bars. No, that's the Gold Glove.
The speakeasy. I can't see it from here.
That's the Gold Glove. That's the fancy bar. That's basically a sports book.
Oh, the one before was.
Yeah,
with
the speakeasy
retro TV.
is the Tommy office themed bar, which is really cool. Getting out to these bars, like it's absolutely something I cannot wait to be doing.
Bars.
Oh yeah, Maddie Seeger has been posting like some links to get the clear bags for folks, but just be aware that you can't do a lot of ththings that you were able to do before.
I feel like some organization's going to try to sell it for $10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just like lanyards for $10 and
is it gonna be like bear paint maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they're big in that kind of stuff. Love shout out Bear.
Some Kobe memorabilia.
Zero smoking, not a bit of smoking, not even vaping allowed at the ballpark. Understandably, all transactions are cashless.
Oh, joke's on them. I don't have any cash anyways.
Who does cash?
$0.
They're all cashless, and your food is all like app-based. I don't think you're able to go up to concessions. You can only order, so I'm sure that's going to be an effing nightmare.
Oh, my God.
To be like,
the line to pick up the food.
No, I mean, I think they bring it to your seat. I don't know.
They're going to bring food to your seat.
I don't know quite how that goes.
Oh, Michelada's going to be $50 for sure.
If you don't have cash, there are cash-to-card kiosks, so I guess a gift card thing.
Huh?
I don't know.
Like cash to card, not card to cash to card.
Cash to card. It turns your cash into a card.
1877
like
cars
Cars
for
for
kids.
kids. Yeah, it's not checking the cash.
Got it.
It's I've fallen and I can't get up.
Matt De La Rosa was at the game, as we said yesterday. He said the app-based ordering system yesterday was awful. I expect that's going to take some time for them to work the kinks out. I have done it at Dodger Stadium before when I sat in the fancy seats on accident. Very great. Efficient. Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
You just hit it.
For
hit
a
it,
limited amount of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Order, done. And then like 10 minutes later, this dude was like, threw a hot dog at me. And I was like, It was an odd interaction. He didn't work there.
A meat missile, if you will.
Yeah,
You know what's going to be
exactly
interesting is, what's that buffet under the fancy seats?
It's closed is what it is.
All you can eat?
The all you can.
Oh, no, the Lexus
Dugout
Dugout
Club.
Club?
The Dugout Club.
The
That
Dugout
thing
Club
is just closed.
Yeah, they don't have buffets.
Yeah, AC says I heard all the concession stands aren't even open. They're probably not going to be open. At best, you might start to see things opening in May.
Yeah, because they don't want you to walk around. They want you to walk into the stadium and go to your seat, go to the bathroom, go to your seat, leave.
So if you want to fraternize with people,
That is so anti-MLB ballpark design now.
Well, here's the biggest thing, too, is that it's also, number one, the home opener for the Dodgers, but number two, the first time people get to see renovations. And they're not really going to get to see the renovations, which sucks because these people are paying a ton of money for this home opener. So it's really
what's the designer's name? Janet
Marie Smith.
Man, her job was make everybody walk around the stadium.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it opens, nobody can walk around the stadium.
She's heartbroken about that.
Oh, my God.
She's gonna be there like, I want them to be free.
No. She's going to be there lifting the rope. Go, 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 go.
And then explaining it to everybody, because that's what Janet loves, to just walk around and really explain the minutia of the paint on the wall and how this is what Walter O'Malley wanted in 1959 when they were building the place and all this kind of stuff. AC says they're going to give you a catheter on the way in, so that's how you're going to
sit in your seat. Don't move.
It's like, does that guy have a hole saw in a bag? I got to poop in a bag. That's right.
It's a clear bag. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, clear bag, so you can put your goodies in there. Oh, God. Another thing that people are definitely going to struggle with, amongst everything, because people struggle with things that are new, it's the future. Everybody sucks.
Future.
Digital tickets only. It's all going to be on the MLB Ballpark app. Be prepared. I do not think they're going to be scanning printouts of paper.
They will not.
Because printouts of paper have COVID on them, even though it's been like it's an airborne thing. It's not a touch thing so much.
Yeah, they said the transmission thing on the paper.
Are you a big paper ticket guy in the first place?
No. I mean, I want the old school.
I was a phone person.
I want the cardboard tickets. I want the old school.
I would take the cardboard tickets if I had season tickets.
Yeah.
And I want them the pack.
Yeah,
I'll do that. But
actually, no, I would take the pack, keep it, and then you still use my phone.
That's true, because I could just keep all the tickets.
Exactly.
Matabrains ask, "Is this live? Is this live?"
Matabrains?
Yes.
Are we live?
Matabrains.
What is real?
What is live? But yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff. David Stoffer says so much more chill at Coors. Concessions, bring your own food. Mask needed though. Dodger Stadium will get there. Obviously, California.
Because their team doesn't pay for anything. That's why everything's so lax over there.
Womp womp.
Sorry.
Yeah, the front office is also the ones that swept up all the food you guys left on the floor. Yeah. Just saying there. Leslie says digital tickets are the best way to do it for sure. And then you can look at them in your little. I went to that game.
Matabrains is yelling at us now.
I think I've seen this before. Actually, never mind. Yes, you've seen us before. That's happening right now.
This is a rerun.
Quickly, before we move on, or before we end the show, because why not? You're here with us for the rest of eternity. The Dodgers are back home. They are facing the Washington Nationals, a team decimated by players on the COVID injured list. Matchups are happening. Walker Buehler pitches on Friday. He goes against Joe Ross, and then the rest of the series is all mostly unnamed as of now. We assume if they're going in the same rotation, Julio gets the ball on Saturday, D-Mania gets the ball on Sunday, so that's cool.
Sunday could line up to be D-Mania against Max Scherzer.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun.
Is Strasburg healthy as well?
I have no idea.
Or is he on the COVID?
I've never seen him before.
No, he signed a big contract, so he doesn't want to play anymore.
I've been there. Like the Kawhi Leonard
deal. A lot
of
ice cream.
Yeah,
you got a lot of ice cream. Fossilmans.
Of the other important things too, we don't know if Cody Bellinger is going to be on the injured list or not because he got spiked, and they're withholding a lot of the info on that, understandably.
The good news is, if he does go on the IL, it will be announced tomorrow morning. So if he makes it through tomorrow morning, I think coast is clear. I think we're good. But if he doesn't make it through tomorrow morning, he does need some of his belly wine.
Take a red wine bath. It'll be fine.
In the immortal words of John Mulaney, you saying she's got anal contusions?
Yeah. John Mulaney as Ice-T.
As Ice-T.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. Are we worried about Mookie getting all these days, air quote, all these days off, plural, in the first week?
No, I mean, it sounds like I actually looked back to see where he hurt his back, and I think I found it. It was when he did that weird dive into second base when he's stealing second. It was really awkward. He kind of just folded into the base. I think he's okay.
He's got to save it for when there's tacos on the line. Save your SBs.
I thought it was when he was trying to wave AJ Pollock took head to third.
He's just
that one.
He's
like, come on, yeah.
And AJ's like, huh?
Yeah. So baseball's happening. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank you.
It's gonna be fun tomorrow. The atmosphere in LA. I hope. Some people are out. We can't be out. That's the one thing I'm going to miss is just feeling that buzz, seeing everybody wear their Dodger caps.
I'll be buzzed at the game for
I'll
sure.
be buzzed, yeah.
I'll be hell buzzed.
You know what I
buzzed
mean.
At home.
Hey, first game back at Dodger Stadium, they are going to have to forcibly remove me, and it is not going to be pretty.
The last time I watched an air quote home game, weren't the Dodgers a home team in Game 6 in Texas? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was stressed the whole time, and then everything just exploded. We won, and then the JT thing happened. Ken Rosenthal and his brilliant reporting. JT gave everybody COVID, and also he hates you.
Kenny, why don't you go play handball with a curve?
And they've known for 15 days. Also, they only knew for 1 day. Anyways, all right. We're just wasting time now.
The Kenny Rosenthal Power Hour.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Find us on the internet. We are at DodgersNation.com. Subscribe to us. We are a podcast that is named Blue Heaven Podcast. We're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Pandora, Stitcher Radio. I don't even know. Again, I got to really look and see if Google Play is really a thing anymore. But your best spots are Spotify, Pandora, all that kind of stuff.
No, I don't have Google Play.
Make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that notification bell. You'll be glad you did.
Look, it's right there. Except
you're way off.
I am really bad with depth perception, but go hit that bell. It was just right there, but it's not here anymore. But it is there. But it's
Dodgers
right there.
Nation logo.
See that? Press it.
Yeah.
It's a bell. Guys, I'm at BrookMe3. This guy over here is at RealFRG. We're on Twitter and Instagram. Go follow us because we got a lot going on. Thank you, Gary, for being here. As always, we appreciate you having you on Gary Cam live in the flesh. We're at Dodger Nation. We are at Official Dodger Nation on Instagram. Make sure you follow along with us all season long because we're going to be doing this 2 times a week until one of us dies, which could be any day now. But we appreciate you. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for your questions. Piss off, Ghost. We'll see you next week.
I have lived a life.